dosto, welcome to the Bollywood talk show on IWMBuzz. This is your host Shubhajit back once again with another interesting episode, another interesting guest out here. I have with me the very talented, gorgeous, I am literally running short of adjectives, the one and only Aarti Chabria, looking wonderful, victorious, mind power. We're going to be talking about spirituality. We're going to be talking about the importance of having a nice mindset. But before everything else, how are you doing? Good to see you after a very long period of time.
Thank you. I'm doing very well. How are you?
I am good. I am good as well. Looking forward to this interesting chat. मुझे एक बात बताइए. Of course, we have a lot to talk about, your movies, etc., and all that stuff.
जी.
But this is such an important, I would say, aspect which a lot of people in our country probably don't understand the importance. We talk about, sane mental health. We talk about the importance of having a strong mindset. But it's not easy. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a part of a process that you undergo, and then you reach that stage where you know that, okay, fine, I'm probably in the right zone of my life. I want to know that before turning into a mentor for others, when was the first time when you realized that you are on the right path?
So actually, I was being mentored since I was almost about 16 or 17. Just towards the last few years of my schooling and beginning of college, when I was entering a beauty pageant called the Miss India Worldwide, and I was the youngest.
You won that, I believe.
Yes, and I was the youngest contestant. There was only like hardly about 16 turning 17 in about 1999, and well, I've given away my age, but that's okay, doesn't matter. So there were 22 Indian girls all over the world in competition, and I had my mentor who guided me, who taught me a lot of the laws of the universe and how they work. And it's not about your age, or it's not about where you've what experience you've had in life. It's about how you look at things and how much you read and how much effort you put in, and how you use your mind to basically gain victory through situations, and in that particular case, that pageant. So it started then, my journey with understanding the spiritual space, understanding mindset and all of that, the laws of the universe, the law of attraction and all of that. And then it was just non-stop. It's been with me throughout. Of course, there have been some dips in my life where I've, we tend to forget, we tend to get very oblivious and very, we take for granted a lot of things in our life. जब सब होने लगता है हमारे, exactly like what we want, things are happening, you just kind of get a bit more relaxed. तो काफी ऐसे times आए कि, I just let go of those things that I was following. But whenever I'd slip off, I had mentors to push me back on track. So thanks to them that, I am very, very gung-ho on this world of being connected to the divine and spirituality and motivation and all of that.
One thing that I would want to point out over here, and I think you touched upon that fact, which I want to talk about as well, that we all tend to understand the importance in some way or the other. I believe we all do a lot of readings, we all do a lot of, I think, consuming content on OTT and other stuff as well in order to understand these things. But often kya hota hai na, with most of the people, I would say, I think more than 80% of people, I would like to believe, that wo implement karna. One thing is understanding, another thing is actually implementing that in your life, implementing that thought process. Wahan jaake kafi log, they fail. They are not able to convert that understanding into implementation. So being a mentor yourself, I want to understand, how do you achieve that hack of actually converting that understanding into implementation?
I was crazy about watching videos, reading books, like a complete, self-help book junkie, you can say, And then that went into doing courses online and learning a lot of different modalities. So whether it was neuro-linguistic programming or cognitive behavioral therapy or hypnosis or, transcendental meditation. And then I studied access consciousness, how to run bars on people. And then moved on to, I got into Buddhism, did a course for inner engineering with Sadhguru, did the art of living. So all these different things that I was learning through the course of my life. All of this didn't happen in one shot. One happened 1 year, one happened another year, then something happened again. That sparked me to again, look for my path even deeper into this space. So all through, whenever I was learning, I was trying to implement it at home. And, my family would, listen to me, understand, appreciate. and then at a point get irritable also, you know, ki kya hai abhi, bas tera gyan band kar de, you know, enough. You know, we're going to say what we want. We're not going to use the word not and only speak positive. And then, you know, slowly what happened when I would start getting negative, now they had learned all the theories and the foundation, so they would start correcting me. And in the bargain, what happened, it started like, you know, just a series of correcting each other, nudging each other on the right path. Because when you're living with your mom and dad, your brother, you know, there's so many different situations that comes in everybody's life. It's not just me and my life, how it's going, right? So when I'm helping them, they're helping me. We're talking to friends, we're helping family and friends. You just can't help but follow this because you see the results, you see things are working out. You know, you change your mindset, you change your words, you try and work on your thought pattern. You see the results and then you're like, it's inevitable, it has to work. So you start promoting it, you start teaching, and then you see, okay, it's really helping everyone. So that's how, you know, it's kept me going on this path.
You know, I'm very interested to know this from your end next. And I believe I like to ask this question to almost every individual who starts achieving in life from a very tender age. Because I think every individual have their own perspective. You won your first pageant, I think, that you mentioned right now, around 16, 17. And then a lot of movies and everything were happening. So basically, एक time जहाँ पे average individual in India, I would say, they just enjoy their 11th and 12th college life and all that stuff. You were working. Now, that means that simultaneously you also had, I would like to believe, a better understanding of the practical world compared to most of your peers at that point of time, because you're already there in the professional field. Do you think because of the fact that you were working since a very tender and early age, that has helped you and your entire nourishing and understanding of life a lot better?
Yeah, I think you've hit the point bang on because of starting early, it exposed me to a whole lot of different people. You know, not just the ads that I was doing since I was very young. I was modeling and I did like 300 ads just till I was in the 8th standard. And then after that, the beauty pageant happened right after my 10th, and then, you know, college, and then movies and music videos and, you know, TV, stuff on TV, a lot of really good work and working with good people and not so good people. And that's where the learnings come from, you know, where you smarten up early in life and the limelight and the fame and the success doesn't go to your head. So you're equipoised, whether you're gaining success or whether you're gaining, I mean, whether failure happens or success happens, you're taking it, you know, with the same kind of temperament. You're not going like, you know, you're just taking it in your stride with, you know, a lot of equanimity.
You know, you mentioned this point. I'm going to just push you a little bit, maybe on the back foot. I don't know how you're going to handle this, but I want to know this from your end. You mentioned that, of course, you know, in the movie industry, we always talk about, you know, people who are good, people who are not so good. Now, when you're that young, of course, there will be people who would want to back you and back your talent. On the other hand, there will be certain, I would say, you know, evil monsters out there who would want to exploit the fact that you are young and maybe you are not as matured as the others who are maybe, you know, a few years elder to you. So at that point of time, wo galat cheez hai, which I think is very common in our industry. How did you handle all that? Did you actually face something which was very mentally disturbing at that point of time? Aisa kuch hua which probably left an impact in your mind?
It wasn't easy. Of course, when you start that young, of course, I had my mom with me who would be with me on the sets and who would, you know, be a support system, you know, for my morale and for, you know, all the things that I was going through. Sometimes
and also a bodyguard maybe.
In some way, yeah. So I lived a very protected life, but eventually what happens is when you're out there and you're working, they cannot be with you, you know, 100 out of 100 times, and you're exposed and you're alone and you're young, and it's not easy to handle the situations when you've not faced those same situations before. You don't know what's coming. मतलब बातें सुनी हुई है इंडस्ट्री में, ऐसा होता है वैसा होता है, लेकिन वो जब होता है तुम्हारे साथ, you're like, अब इसको कैसे टैकल करो? So these things were they were tough for me, but at the same time, because we had spoken about it a lot at home, and I had that backing and that you know, I wouldn't call it education, but some level of understanding and proper conversation. You know, when you don't speak to anybody about it and then you don't know how to handle your situation, things are different. But with my mentors over the years, since a young age, being on set while my modeling, having parents that were so supportive, I think I was pretty prepared when situations came my way, and I could tackle them and easily slip out of the, dirty situations that I didn't want to get entangled into. So, touch wood, I've been very lucky, but I've not been so lucky that I've not faced any situations. I would be lying if I said that. I have faced a lot of very, very difficult situations through my career, which I've never spoken about, not even during the Me Too phase, because I believe that, I would like bygones to be bygones. And, I believe in focusing and pushing my energy into what I have liked, enjoyed, and appreciated through my life, because what you focus on actually magnifies in your life, and you pull more of that. और आप ज़्यादा किसी पर कीचड़ उछालते हो तो वो कीचड़ आप पर भी उड़ता है. So I have not, I don't believe in getting into that, that space. But it's not like I haven't faced, those kind of problems that every newcomer or every girl goes through in this industry towards the beginning of her career. Yeah.
I completely respect your viewpoint. I'm not going to dig deep into that. I think whatever you said, that completely, gives me an understanding of what you have faced. But एक चीज मुझे बताइए, in our industry ऐसा कहा जाता है कि Friday to Friday equation बदलता है. A lot depends on your last movie, whether it's a hit or a film, or a flop. Often we have heard actors saying that, I was probably signed for a movie, but because my last film didn't work, I was replaced overnight. And of course, that really, really is emotionally shattering. I have not been in that situation, but I know it's really tough. You have had your share of highs, you have had your share of lows as well in the industry. That's all for everybody to understand and take. When those things happened, did anything like that happen where you probably were signed for a film, but you were removed unceremoniously because of things which were not in your control?
Absolutely. At many, not one, it happened many times. There were times when I was signed for the film and I was not called for the shooting. I was the main protagonist. The name of the film was on my character's name, and I was nowhere in the film. It was so weird. I've faced situations like that. Don't ask me which.
That's just because, no, I'm not going to ask you that, but that's just because of the fact that your previous film didn't work?
Well, no, I don't know what the politics were, and I'm not going to get into it now, because I have a great ability and talent to forget things that are not nice in my life and just totally as if they didn't even exist. I don't remember the nitty-gritties of what, when, how, क्यों, कैसे, क्या, कुछ नहीं पता. I just know कि हाँ, एक film थी जिसमें मेरा नाम टाइटल रोल था, और उसमें she's there in certain flashbacks, and those flashbacks were shot and then they were not used in the film and they were just replaced. Of course, that film didn't do well, but that's what happens when you're making a film with your intentions being very different. Then it's not possible for the film to kind of really flourish and prosper. There have been times when I've done a film and they've not paid me for the film. They've probably paid me 1/10, and I've asked for the money through the shooting of the film. Of course, I've not been the kind of person who said, no, I'm not coming on the set, you've not paid me my money. Well, today I would do that. I would not let anyone walk all over me while working with me. In the past, I was young and, I have made some mistakes, but when the time came to dub that film, you won't believe it. They never asked me to come dub, and they had somebody else dub for the film. And that film was Bhaiya. It was with Govinda ji. I will even tell you, the name of the film, because I'm not afraid. And I feel really bad that, playing the role of a girl who loses her memory and her mental level becomes of a child, there's a certain kind of voice that I played that character with. And, those emotions of a child need to come through my voice. And I can't give the life to that role, then I don't think anybody else could do justice to it. So if I have to say, nahi mujhe gola khana hai, as a 5-year-old kid, and if they dub it as, nahi mujhe gola khana hai, then how is it going to sound? It's going to sound as if the performance is bad. It's not going to sync, and you're going to say, "Arey, kya acting kiya?" When the producers of the film are unjust with the actors at any point during the making, the pre-production or the production or the post-production of the film, it does affect the final outcome when it releases, which is again something that I've realized over time, because I deal with energy work and all of that. It might sound like Greek and Latin to someone who is very logical minded and who is only about hisab kitab, हाँ ये अच्छा fit है, चलो इसको लो, नहीं इसको flop, इसको निकालो, hit works, flop, whatever. This is not about logic. This is about the energy that you create something with, and when you are not just in what you're doing, And just does not mean just doing your hard work and then cheating everybody else. It just means just with everybody, just with your script, just with your technicians, just about your payments. Then, that kind of a film, it's easier for that to flourish. And I've seen that happen.
I think that's some really, really, I would say, I'm kind of, taken aback with what you said. But anyway, as you said, bygones are bygones. We don't dig back to the past. We don't look back to the past. It's all experiences that have made you a better person. Thank you so much for this lovely, interesting virtual chat, Aarti. It was a pleasure. Pleasure knowing you from here onwards, and looking forward to meeting you in person very soon. I hope you all enjoyed and had a lovely time watching this virtual episode featuring Aarti Chabria. We'll see you all on the next episode. Till then, thank you so much. God bless and stay safe. Thank you, Aarti. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you. See you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you. Bye.